Try it yourself, adding Google Maps to a web page. In this Try It Yourself exercise, you'll add multiple Google Maps and then use the map object to link them together by adjusting the zoom and pan for all map elements on the page. You'll also get a chance to dynamically add your own markers. The solution files are located in the Hour 16 folder. Look for the files named Hour 1602. We'll also need some images from the book's Images folder to complete this exercise. As usual, let's begin by loading the solution file, hour1602.html, into our web browser. Here we see several panes that show different Google Maps. Each one can be independently controlled. For instance, I can drag the Street View pushpin and jump into a street view on one of the panes. Alternatively, I can use the zoom controls in the upper left to zoom all maps simultaneously that aren't in Street View. Finally, you can add a marker to all of the maps in one fell swoop by typing a name and then clicking the pushpin, as you can see here. Now let's open Aptana Studio and take a look at what's going on. Incidentally, in that HTML file, we can see here on lines 13 through 16 the references to the images that you'll need to complete this exercise. The HTML and the CSS files are both pretty basic, with the exception that in line 7 of the HTML file, we ensure that the Google Maps library is loaded first. Now let's take a look at the JavaScript file. Down on line 34, we have our ready function. This function calls the addMap init function and creates the maps on the page, and then adds the event handlers to the zoom buttons and the addMarker button. The addMaps function, starting on line 26, creates the map objects on the web page and adds them to the mapR array. The options for the map are coming from the map prop defined at the top in lines 3 and 4. Let me zoom up a little bit so you can see that. Notice that each iteration through the loop increments the zoom value to make the maps progressively zoom in. The pan function is found on line 5. This gets the current position of the map that's being changed using getCenter. It then uses this position to adjust the center position of all maps. The zoom function on line 14 increments the current value of each of the maps using getZoom and setZoom. Finally, we have on line 18 the function placeMarker. This creates a new Google Maps marker object on each of the maps based on the current center position. So therefore, to go back to the live file again and reload, we see all the maps appear, and as we pan on one, it should pan on all of them. I'm dragging and dropping slowly with my mouse, and you can see the update's a little slow, but it's working. You can also use the custom zoom, as I showed you before, to zoom in or out on all of the maps, and I already showed you the marker capability.